Hello, my little flowers. So we did the macaron review, and I hope you watched that video. If not, I will link it to this one. But we also bought the 4-piece box of Whoopie pies, which you can get the 4-piece for $13. There are obviously 4 different flavors. So this is a couple days later, so we let these sit a little bit, so they may be a little dry at this point, but we're still gonna try them. We're gonna still let you know what we think. So let's get started. Mike the Bee, the music. So the first flavor we tried was the birthday cake flavor. You could definitely see that there were sprinkles in it. I know when we did the macarons, they had like a birthday cake that we said you could taste the sprinkles. This one actually had sprinkles in it. Me personally, I did get the birthday cake flavor. And I mean, it was just, I don't know, it was kind of a plain birthday cake flavor though. Like, it wasn't over the top. I guess, you know, it was good. But I got plain kind of vanilla birthday cake.
Yeah, it's a good funfetti birthday cake. He's right though. We may have let them sit a little too long and they're just a tad dry. So if you have your coffee, they're gonna be good with coffee. So let's go try this next one.
So next we did the raspberry lemonade. I mean, it was okay.
You could definitely tell it was lemon filling, and the raspberry was supposed to be in the cake, and you didn't get a whole lot of raspberry with it, but you did get some lemon. So, I mean, it's really refreshing, which I found interesting. I would do it again.
Yeah. So like so far, we've only done the first 2. They're not heavy. Like there is. Whenever I've had a Whoopie pie, almost anywhere else, there always seemed to be like this heaviness, whether it's from the filling itself or the cake part. These don't seem to have that like heaviness. I mean, they are small, but I don't know. I don't get the heaviness. As far as the raspberry lemonade, I didn't get raspberry. Like there definitely was a flavor in the cake part. I didn't get raspberry, but I got plenty of the lemonade, I guess. So I mean, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, good.
So we just did cotton candy, and if you watch the macaron review, you'll know that we did not have a good run with the cotton candy because there's 2 macarons with cotton candy flavoring.
So I need Mike to give the correct word for this, because I've heard some bakers call it fondant. I've heard some bakers call it fondant. So is it fondant or fondant?
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, and since you clarified that,
it depends on where you're from, how it's pronounced. I mean, a lot of people say fondant because, you know, it's I guess the origins of it, but I call it fondant. So
yeah. To me, this really tasted like just a very plain fondant. It didn't have really a flavor to it. It just there was a little bit of a sugar taste. It tasted like kind of dry fondant.
Okay, so I got something different. I didn't get fondant. What I got is, if you remember, I don't know if it was the bubble gum you were talking about, but the flavor I got was how he described, I think it was the bubble gum, where it's like chewed bubble gum that has lost its flavor, but still has a little bit left. That's the flavor I got. And I also got a little bit of a waxy flavor.
I think that's where the fondant's coming in, yeah.
Like
chewed bubble gum with wax.
It just, oh my God. So don't buy any of the cotton candy stuff. They obviously don't have that flavor. Like it's just not good. Like, so no cotton candy. And last but not least, we tried chocolate. I don't know, like, yeah, for me, it was chocolate. It was a chocolate Whoopie pie. It was like a plain chocolate, and then the filling was just like a white, I want to say buttercream. So it was like chocolate and cream. It wasn't like, I don't know, it just wasn't overwhelming or anything. Your basic chocolate cream Whoopie pie.
This one, I got the fondant taste again right off the bat. It tasted like nothing but just plain fondant with no flavoring. Probably about 3/4 of the way through chewing it, I smacked my lips a little bit, and then I guess the air coming in helped like a little hint of chocolate to it. But I didn't get like the really heavy chocolate flavor. Like I was expecting like a chocolate Whoopie pie.
Right.
And I got nothing but disappointment.
I think if maybe they did like the filling, if they made the filling chocolate as well, would help with this, because then it would be a true chocolate through and through whoopie pie.
I agree.
Now I will say really quickly about the fondant flavoring. So if it is a buttercream, I know where I work, for those of you who know where I work, when we make buttercream icing, we do put fondant in the icing. And that's just because here in lovely Florida, the Sunshine State, it gets a little humid. That fondant helps the buttercream kind of hold. It doesn't melt in like the humidity and the heat here. That would explain like the fondant flavor, unless it's just coming out of a bucket, which I don't know, like I don't work in the back there or anything like that on how they put it together. But that would kind of explain that if that's what they're doing. Alright guys, well that does it. There was only 4 whoopie pies. That was all 4. I guess we'll just say, like we did before, like our favorite, our top 2. I mean, there's only 4. Do you want to go first?
Well, so it's very rare. It's very rare for both of us. This is like, mark this on your calendars, kids.
Right. It's on tape, so we
agree with our number 1 and our number 2.
So the number 1 that we both agreed upon was the birthday cake whoopie pie. I picked it just because, I mean, it had more flavor. Overall, the whoopie pies, like I said, they're not heavy. So if you are looking for a light treat and you want like a little bit of sweet, get the whoopie pies, because they're not super heavy.
I'd agree.
Our number 1,
that's right,
is the birthday cake.
That's right.
Because, well, for me, because of the flavor kind of came through a little bit more, and it was just more enjoyable.
And then we agreed that on the number 2, it was the raspberry lemonade. We agreed because for 2 reasons. One, you got more flavor out of it. Even though we didn't necessarily get a lot of the raspberry, the lemon was there, and so we got that more than the other 2 that were left. Second, it kind of was like more refreshing. If it's hot, like, you know, he said earlier about, you know, the fondant and the buttercream, it is hot and humid here in Florida. So if you're looking for something refreshing that, you know, it's like a little snack, you want a little sugar pick-me-up, but it's also like this nice, oh, that was really refreshing. I would recommend, and I think Mike would also recommend too, the raspberry lemonade, because it was just really nice.
Well guys, that's going to do it. Our review on the 4 whoopie pies available to you at Bake My Day, which is the new bake sweet shop in the Minion Land over in Universal Studios, Florida. Make sure you check out that and all the other fun desserts they have available. Everything looks really, really good. I mean, we'll see if we get into anything else kind of later on. As always, thank you for following along on these little adventures of mine. And as always, I am Mike the Bee. You never know I'm going to be. I'm just going to be UV2. I'll see you guys later. Bye!